One road, one focus. That's what's top of mind for Illinois' Secretary of State's office during National Teen Driver Safety Week.
It's why he's launching the One Road, One Focus initiative to educate teens on the dangers of distracted driving. WGEM Illinois Capitol Bureau Chief Max Cotton has more on the push to keep drivers focused on the road.
There's absolutely nothing that is more important than just paying attention to the road.
Springfield resident Brenda Protz knows that all too well. In 2019, her 14-year-old daughter Jenna was killed when a distracted driver crossed the center line and hit the car she was riding in head on.
And then my Jenna's life was cut short. She was here just 14 years. Today, she should be a sophomore in college, studying forensic science and playing basketball.
Protz is not alone in her grief. According to the latest National Highway Traffic Safety Administration data, more than 3,300 people across the U.S. were killed in distracted driving-related crashes in 2022.
Distracted driving has become the drunk driving of our time. Driving with an open phone screen is as dangerous as driving with an open bottle.
That's why Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias is starting a new campaign, One Road, One Focus. It includes requiring teens to watch a video on the dangers of distracted driving before getting their license, and a social and traditional media campaign focused on reminding people of the dangers of distracted driving. Giannoulias hopes to work with state lawmakers to establish a new grant program for local law enforcement to combat distracted driving. His office is also partnering with local law enforcement to bolster distracted driving patrols.
Distracted driving is dangerous and devastating, yet it remains for many socially acceptable. That's why we need to treat it accordingly. We need to do more to stigmatize intoxicated driving, and we need a cultural shift in our collective behavior.
In Springfield, Max Cotton, WGEM News.